Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, guess what just happened in China? You know the Super Bowl, right? Biggest event in America. 137 million people watch it live. Crazy numbers. Now imagine an event that got 23 billion views in just 3 days. No, that's not a typo. Billion with a B. And here's the crazier part, the stars of this show weren't Taylor Swift or Beyonce, they weren't even human. Robots. Real, actual robots, doing kung fu, flipping through the air, spinning nunchucks like they've been training in a Shaolin temple for 20 years. And the American audience, they're sitting there watching this video thinking, wait, isn't Tesla making robots? Where's our robot army? Well, Elon, you might be a little late to the party. Today, we're breaking down the most viral event in human history, China's Lunar New Year Gala robot performance that got 23 billion views, why the Pentagon is actually worried, and what this means for the future of AI and robotics. Let's dive in. Alright, so here's what went down. The 16th of February, 2026. Lunar New Year's Eve. In China, this is bigger than Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's combined. It's called the Spring Festival Gala, China's most watched television event. Think of it like the Super Bowl, Oscars and Grammys all rolled into one, multiplied by 10. Normally this show features singers, dancers, and comedy sketches, typical New Year stuff. But this year, they decided to level up. China Central Television CCTV brought out 4 leading robotics companies: Unitree, Gala, Robotics, and Magic Lab. These robots performed kung fu moves, they flipped through the air, they spun nunchucks like absolute experts. And when they fell, they stood back up and kept going without missing a beat. One robot even did an air flare, one of the hardest breakdancing moves in existence. 7.5 rotations in the air. I can't even spin 7.5 seconds without falling on my face. The internet went absolutely crazy. Within 3 days, 23 billion views. That's more than the entire population of Earth times 3. Now let's talk about the real stars here, the companies building these machines. First up, Unitree Robotics. Based in Hangzhou, China, founded by a 5-year-old engineer named Wang Xingxing, this guy started building robots during his master's degree. Worked at DJI, the drone company. Then in 2016, he started his own thing. Fast forward to 2026, his company is worth $1.7 billion. And look at who's backing him. Alibaba, Tencent, Meituan, Sequoia, China. It's like if Amazon, Facebook, and Google all invested in the same robotic startup. That's the level we're talking about. Last year alone, Unitree shipped 5,500 humanoid robots. You know how many Tesla shipped? About 150, 36 times more. Let that sink in for a second. And the price? Their humanoid robot starts at $16,000. Tesla's Optimus? Expected to be $20,000 to $30,000. So not only are they making more robots, they're making them cheaper. People are definitely noticing. Now here's where it gets really interesting. These robots didn't just wake up one morning knowing how to do kung fu. They trained, just like human athletes. China just released behind-the-scenes footage of how these robots prepared for the gala. And honestly, it looks like a robot boot camp. According to Unitree and videos shared by Sina, these robots went through intensive training for months, practicing acrobatic moves, balance exercises, parkour, and martial arts, mimicking human movements over and over again. They literally have a training facility where robots fall, get up, fall again, get up thousands of times until they perfect each movement. Sound familiar? Yeah, exactly like human athletes. They trained for parkour, jumping over obstacles, one-legged flips pushing off walls mid-air, synchronized spins with 40 other robots, and here's the craziest technical detail they use, something called a rapid clustering positioning system. Basically, these robots can track each other's positions in real time at speeds up to 4 meters per second. That means if one robot is about to crash into another, it automatically adjusts. No collisions, perfect coordination. My college group project had worse coordination than this. And here's my favorite part. Some of Unitree's robots were dressed as the Monkey King Sun Wukong, the mythical Chinese character. They performed iconic movements from the character, and even appeared with a cloud carried by a robot dog. A robot dog carrying a cloud for a robot Monkey King. We are officially living in the future. Now here's what makes this truly impressive. At the New Year Gala last year, Unitree's robots could only walk gently and perform simple moves like swinging scarves. In just 1 year, they went from gentle walking to parkour, kung fu, and breakdancing. That's not evolution, that's a leap. Okay, let's get serious for a minute. Why is everyone from the Pentagon to Silicon Valley freaking out about this? Kyle Chan, a technology researcher at the Brookings Institution, said these performances are symbolic. They're China's way of sending a message: we're here, we're winning, deal with it. Zilan Qian from Oxford said this helps create a techno-optimistic public in China. Translation: when normal people see robots on TV doing cool stuff, they get excited about technology. They want more AI, more robots, more innovation. The government gets public support for their tech agenda. But here's the real reason this matters. China shipped 90% of all humanoid robots globally last year. 90%. Morgan Stanley predicts China will ship 28,000 humanoid robots this year, double from last year. Even Elon Musk, who rarely admits anyone is ahead of him, said recently, "People outside China underestimate China, but China is actually very formidable. They will be the biggest contender in the AI embodiment race." When Elon Musk himself admits it, you know it's real. Alright, enough serious talk. Let's see how the internet reacted to this. Because honestly, the comments had me dying laughing. One user on X wrote, "Bro trained in the mountains for 10,000 years just to get shown up by a robot with Wi-Fi." Another one, "Me watching a robot do kung fu while I can't even touch my toes." On Reddit, someone said, "Day one as a spy in humans. Classic." Another one, "This is what decades of kicking Boston Dynamics robots has led to." Remember when Wang Lihong performed with dancing robots? Someone commented, "Ain't no way they put durags on the robots." I literally couldn't breathe. But here's my favorite. Someone wrote, "We've come full circle, humans doing the robot to robots doing the human." That's actually profound. Think about it. Now, before we get too carried away, let's do a reality check. Because some experts are pouring cold water on this party. See, as impressive as this performance was, it was meticulously programmed and rehearsed. These robots practice these exact moves thousands of times in a controlled environment. Does that mean they're ready to work in your house, or drive a car, or make decisions in unpredictable situations? Not yet. Experts say, while the stage performance was impressive, it doesn't necessarily indicate that robots are ready to adapt flexibly to industrial or everyday life settings. But here's the thing, Kai-Fu Lee, the famous AI expert, recently said, "In AI hardware and robotics manufacturing, the US is being overtaken by China. Companies like Unitree have integrated AI into extremely cost-advantaged robotics systems, low cost, fast production, stable supply chain, almost unmatched globally. So while they might not be ready for everything, they're definitely ready for something. And that something is mass production." Let me hit you with some numbers that will blow your mind. China accounted for 90% of the approximately 13,000 humanoid robots shipped globally last year. Unitree alone shipped 5,500 robots in 2025. They plan to ship 20,000 this year. Their G1 robot costs about $12,300 in China. After the Gala performance, their product page crashed from traffic. Delivery dates pushed to March, then April. On JD.com, China's Amazon robots featured in the show sold out within minutes. High-end models priced at hundreds of thousands of yuan? Gone. Delivery dates pushed from March to April. The G1 robot, priced at about $12,300 in China, saw tens of thousands of users visiting the product page in just days. So here's the thing. When America sees robots dancing on TV, we think, oh cool, entertainment. When China sees robots dancing on TV, they think, I want one in my house. And the craziest part? They can actually BUI them. People in China aren't lining up for iPhones anymore. They're lining up for robots. So here's the bottom line. This wasn't just a dance performance. This was a declaration. China is telling the world, we're not just making your iPhones anymore, we're making the future. For the USA, this is a wake-up call. Because right now, while America's debating AI ethics and writing regulations, China is building, testing, manufacturing, selling. Morgan Stanley predicts by 2050 there will be 1 billion humanoid robots operating globally, a $5 trillion market. That's bigger than the entire automobile industry today. So the question isn't whether robots are coming. The question is, who's going to build them? And right now, China's winning. What do you think? Is America sleeping on this? Or will Tesla and the rest catch up? Drop a comment, China winning or USA bouncing back. Let's see where the audience stands. And if you want more deep dives into AI and robotics, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell because this race is just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.